Thank you so much for letting me interview you. Do you mind introducing yourself?
I'm Peter Bradley. I was a teacher for about 20 years. For about the last 8 years of those, I was the second secretary of the London Gay Teachers Group.
Can you tell me about your experiences as being a pupil in school?
Down memory lane. Well, I can say my school days were not unhappy, but they were an absolute gay-free zone. There was nothing in the curriculum. There was bullying in my school in my first year, but it wasn't homophobic bullying, it was just bullying. So I lasted 6 years where nothing talked about what even then I was beginning to feel was my identity.
And going from that onto further education, like university, what happened there?
Well, I think the big change in my life was going to university and discovering gay liberation, because although I was beginning to realise I liked men, and occasionally doing something about it, the sudden interruption into my life of gay liberation was for me a liberation. It was literally an opening of a door for me that I just suddenly felt, because I'd known, I like women, but I don't think I want to go to bed with them. I like men, but I couldn't possibly go to bed with them. And to a stage where there was a group of people saying, rejoice in who you are, do things that make you happy in terms of your sexuality. It's good to be gay, that was one of the phrases, and the big thing for me was the idea of coming out, that it's not just about, it is about what you do in bed, but it's not just about what you do in bed, it's about who you are. And the idea of coming out is the bridge between the bed and the world, really. It is kind of saying, that part of me is so important, it needs acknowledgement in the wider world. And so in a way that leads to the whole question of being gay at work. I think that, to me, is what the Gay Teachers Group was fundamentally about, helping that coming out affirmation happen at work. It's fine to do it with family and friends and in discos, and that's marvellous. But most of us, if we're lucky to get a job, that's our life, is work. And to be silent at work about such an important part of who we are is not good for the soul. And the Gay Teachers Group, forerunner of Schools Out, absolutely helped integrate the personal into the work.
So you would say that bit of activism when you were a teacher helped link your two lives together, basically, instead of keeping them separate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's it was, in a way, not like Peter Tatchell, who's here today, but activism was a major part of my life. So I had a day teaching, and then I'd have Gay Teachers Committee, and we'd be planning campaigns, union meetings, and it was a kind of translation of the internal change of coming out from a shy, closed individual into a relatively happy gay man, is to copy that on the wider scale, to keep your dignity as a human being in the workplace, in school, by bit, and it is bit by bit. When I first started teaching, I never came out, not to the teachers and absolutely not to the pupils. So, and it's not something I say to people, you must do it, that's ridiculous. It's how one feels. And there came a point where I couldn't tolerate casual anti-gay language by my colleagues, so I picked one up on it. And then, and that was great eventually. And then when, and then I wanted to come out to the pupils and couldn't find the right moment. And then a local paper printed a picture of me holding a man's hand, and that was it. So I can't boast about how I came out to the pupils. But again, once I'd done it, it was very important.
How has things changed over time, like with the education?
I think talking to people like yourself and Ali, who interviewed me earlier, luckily it has. It seems to be a much more relaxed and respectful environment. I mean, not in teaching now, but just talking to people, it does seem to be better. There still is huge discrimination, and again, it's a form of discrimination. Lack of care for young people, lack of a good curriculum. It's not overt discrimination, but its effect is the same. You keep the pupil unhappy, uneducated, not respected, and I'm afraid there are good examples to have Ofsted saying that homophobic bullying is one of the things inspectors must look at. That's marvellous. But there's so many areas where teachers are afraid, they wouldn't think twice about stopping a racist remark, and they're afraid to pick up on an anti-gay remark. There are too many instances where the curriculum could be brought. I'm not asking for 100 days on homosexuality, but to be part of the full curriculum, I do feel that hasn't been achieved yet.
Do you think teachers can help?
Short answer, yes.
And thanks. Thank you for your time.